If you are a leader of a small or large team, department, or organization, and you're in constant search for ways to improve employee engagement, retention, and to maximize their productivity, I have a quick question for you. What core behaviors do you expect of your team in order to gain these results? And what are you doing to ensure that your team is aware of them? Well, when I ask these two questions to leaders, the responses are typically all over the place, but nowhere near where they need to be. So I'd like to take a few minutes to enlighten you concerning 5 core behaviors that should be part of every leader's vocabulary so that they also become part of your team's daily work. And while they are in no particular order, I strongly believe that they're all equally important. So let's start with number 1, which is attention to detail, which is the expectation that your team members are willing to take a little extra time to ensure the product or service that you're providing is absolutely flawless or as close to perfection as possible. And what's the consequence of not making this clear? Well, it's confusion, of course, along with inconsistency and maybe even mediocrity. So it's important that when you delegate a task, the recipient knows that your expectation is attention to detail. Number 2 is having a sense of urgency. Now think about this. How often do you delegate a task with the assumption that the person's going to take care of it expediently, only to find out days later that it still hasn't been done? And what do you often end up doing? Well, if you're like me, taking it back and completing it yourself. How frustrating. So it's important that when you delegate a task, you also make it known that you'd like them to have a sense of urgency in getting it completed. Number 3 is being uncompromising. Now this almost goes hand in hand with attention to detail, but in essence, you're taking it to the next level by also ensuring that they don't cut corners to get something done quickly. And often, if you don't make it clear, employees will make concessions that they think others won't notice, simply to appease your expectations. Number 4 is to always strive to exceed expectations. Now this is another tricky scenario where if you don't create a mindset of going above and beyond, your team may oftentimes just do enough to get by. So you must explain that when we exceed customer expectations, it not only creates surprise and delight, but it also creates memorable experiences that keeps them coming back. And the last core behavior is to always act with integrity, which means your expectations for your team is that promises and commitments are always kept. People are self-accountability and can be depended on even in hectic or chaotic situations. Now take a moment to think back to the last time that you asked one of your team members, direct reports, or colleagues to do something for you, and you were extremely disappointed with the results. Reflect back for a moment. Did you use any of these clarifying words to communicate the actions and behaviors that you expected? Probably not. Remember, words matter, and at the leadership level, and especially at the executive level, you must be able to communicate with more clarity specifically what you expect. Again, if there's no clarity, we leave lots of room for disappointment. So there you have it, 5 core behaviors that should be part of every leader's vocabulary so that they become part of your team's daily work. And again, they are attention to detail, sense of urgency, being uncompromising, exceeding expectations, and of course, acting with integrity. And as I close, if you found value in any of the information that I've shared, please hit the like button, share this video with a colleague or friend, and subscribe right now. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.